Hello, it's my Eurovision 2024 National Final Season Update 6. Welcome to Matt Loves Eurovision. Please do click on the subscribe button, ring on the notification bell, and like, share, and comment below. So I'm getting in this update a bit quicker than I have done to my previous updates, just because we've got some things coming up in the coming week for national finals to update you on. So just to give a quick recap of what we've just had, we had towards the end of last week, we had a plethora of internal selections being revealed. So on Thursday last week, we had Switzerland, Netherlands, and Cyprus. We did know who the artists were for Netherlands and Cyprus, but the Swiss one was to be confirmed, although a couple of days beforehand it had leaked that it was likely to be Nemo. Well, it was indeed Nemo, and they will be coming to Eurovision with the song The Code. We know that Joost is the Dutch representative this year, and he will be coming with Europapa, and Cyprus, Celia Kapsis, with her song Liar. We then had two midnight releases for the UK and for Austria, although Austria's had leaked previously. The UK, obviously it's Ollie Alexander, who's representing the UK with his song Dizzy, and Austria is being represented by Colleen with her song We Will Rave. Now, We Will Rave does not yet have a music video, because of some issues with the American production company that was supposed to be doing the video. Apparently that will be available on March the 4th, which at the time of recording this is tomorrow. Austria's been slightly messy how it's released it, because there's been all sorts of kind of leaks and bits come out, and then it wasn't quite sure when it was coming out or what was the official video. So yes, it's been a slightly messy way of getting out, but I think this seems to be kind of Austria's way, but it doesn't seem to affect kind of how popular the songs tend to be. So we also had two more national finals in Iceland and in Serbia. So in Iceland, they've already had two semi-finals. We had a final of 5 artists, with the top 2 going through to a super final, and those were the 2 favourites, Hera Björk and Bashir Murad, and perhaps to many people's surprise, it was Hera Björk who won. Bashir Murad's song Wild West had garnered quite a lot of attention kind of in the outside media. It was outside of Iceland, because he is Palestinian, and also he's an LGBT Palestinian as well, which makes for quite a interesting sort of in terms of how representativity. However, he did not win. It was Hera who won. She, of course, has been to Eurovision before, back in 2010 with Je ne sais quoi. She's very popular in Iceland, so perhaps it shouldn't be too surprising, and also why people should never, and as I know, a number of people did warn out saying, look, Bashar hasn't been selected yet, so don't make that assumption. But it will be Hera going to Malmo with her song Scared of Heights. Serbia also selected. They had a returning artist as well, Constractor. However, she did not win this time, but she hadn't been one of the favourites, to be fair. She came 4th in the end, 3rd with the juries, 3rd with the televote, which is quite respectable. But the winner was the pre-show favourite, which was Teodoro with her song Ramonda. I must remember to say Ramonda, not Ramanda. Ramanda is a character from Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time series, so I'm inevitably going to get it mixed up each time I try and say that way, but it's Ramonda. And yeah, she won the juries, and I think came third with the televote, which was enough to win. So in the coming week, we have an artist announcement coming finally from Australia. That will take place on, well, in Australian time, 6th of March. It may well be 5th of March for us here in Europe. At the moment, I don't know whether it's the song as well or whether it's just the announcement of the artist. At the moment, I think it's the artist, but sometimes we get the song as well. Well, we will be getting a song on the 6th from Greece, I think from maybe the 6th or the 7th. I may just have to double check. The 7th of March from Greece. So we already know the artist, Marina Sati. The song is Zari. We've had a small snippet of it released a couple of days ago, but we'll get the full song coming up next week. And then the coming weekend, we have the last 2 national finals, Sweden and Portugal. we don't actually have any returning Eurovision artists, quite unusually in these two finals. However, not unusually in Sweden, we have a lot of returning former Melfest contestants coming back, and indeed one of those returning artists is the favourite to win Melfest this year, which is Marcus and Martinus, who are identical twins from Norway. But we've also got people like Dotter, who has done very well in Melfest before, and several others, Liamu and a couple of others that have already had, and Medina. They've all been in Melfest before and have all done well in the past as well. So it's not necessarily a done deal there. We also have Cassiopeia in the final of Melfest, who was the co-writer of Tattoo last year, the Eurovision winning song, but she's there with a song of her own. And then we go to Portugal. With Festival de Canção. The favourite there is an artist called Yolanda with Grito. However, Festival de Canção can be somewhat unpredictable because the second favourite did not get through to the final. So Festival de Canção, although it's jury and televote, it can be a little bit more difficult to predict. But at the moment, Yolanda is the favourite, or in terms of the bookies and in terms of the fan favourite to win there. But that sort of Festival de Canção closes the national final season. It's not necessarily the last one that gets released, obviously, but it's the last of the national finals. And then we've got 4 remaining countries to release their songs. 3 of those we don't know exactly when they will be, although they should be in March at some point. Georgia, Armenia and Azerbaijan, the Caucasus countries. We know that Nutsa Buzeldze for Georgia will be for Georgia. That will come at some point in March. We are potentially getting a returning Eurovision artist for Azerbaijan, Aysel, who was the representative in 2018. But we're not sure whether, but she's down to the last 2, so maybe a returning artist from Azerbaijan. Sorry about that noise. And then the submission date for all Eurovision songs is the 11th of March, which is not next weekend, but next Monday, so the Monday but one. But we don't automatically get the public releases by then sometimes, though they tend to do them within a couple of days of that kind of deadline. We could be getting tweaks to a couple of the songs, so Pedestal for Czechia, we think maybe getting a few tweaks to that. I've heard that there may be some small adjustments to Slovenia's for Slovenia's songs of Veronica. We know that Albania's song is going to be tweaked and turned into English. And for Malta, although it seems that Srebrenici in Loop is the song, however, there are rumours that it might be a completely different song because the song is not yet on Spotify. And Malta have been known to change their song from the kind of the national final. They've done that a couple of times. I've nothing written in stone from that. There's just been a couple of things I'd seen. So, but at the moment I'm assuming it's a loop. But yeah, that potentially could change. So now that's what we've got coming up in the next week. We could end up having a lot of releases in the coming week. You know, Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan could drop theirs this week. I will undoubtedly will come back for what will be the last of the national final season updates following the 2 remaining national finals. But yes, take care and we'll see you soon.